Okay, now we're going to talk about laws of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is a field of chemistry that and physics that asks the questions: what are the laws in nature that governs how energy is used within the universe? And as far as we are concerned, for this course, we're only concerned with the first law and the second law. So the first law of thermodynamics has to do with energy, usage of energy, and what happens to the energy. So what does it say? The total amount of energy in the universe is constant. This total energy is constantly being transformed from one form to another, as you saw in the examples of the bicycle rider and also in the ecosystem when we talked about the tree capturing the energy of light. So that energy of light is being transformed from kinetic energy into chemical potential energy. So this total energy is constantly being transformed from one form to another, but energy can neither be created nor it can be destroyed. So what does that mean? That means if the bicycle rider is able to ride up the hill, where is that energy coming from? The bicycle rider doesn't create the energy out of a vacuum. What it did was that previously it had a lot of carbohydrates and it's storing a lot of stored energy in its muscles and its body, and then it transforms that chemical potential energy to transform it into kinetic energy of bicycling. So whenever you see an example of an energy either being destroyed or being used, that energy came from somewhere else. You cannot create energy out of a vacuum. So the two very important parts of this law is that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, and energy is constantly being transformed from one form to another. The second law of thermodynamics, we're going to simplify it for this course. There's more to this, but the only thing that we care about is what happens to the energy when it's being transformed from one form to another. And it comes down to the idea of efficiency. So energy transformations are never 100% efficient. If you remember in that image of the ecosystem that we saw, every time energy was transferred, let's say from the sun to the plant and from the plant to the rabbit, so on and so forth, not all of that energy completely was transferred to the rabbit or the fox or whatever. Some of that energy is lost as heat. So at each instance, one type of energy transformed to another, some energy is lost as heat. So again, try to think about what are the parts of this image that pertain to the first and second law of thermodynamics. And I'll be interested to see what parts of this you will label.